Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate our next packet tracer activity of module 13, which is 13.3.12, where we are trying to configure a WPA2 enterprise WLAN on the WLC. So please download this activity and follow my steps. So this is the topology that we are given in this particular activity. You can see we are looking at addressing table here, and then there are several objectives to be taken. So imagine configure a new VLAN for interface, VLAN interface on a WLC, configure a new WLAN on a WLC, configure a new scope, which is nothing but the DHCP scope on the internal DHCP server, configure the WLC with SNMP settings, configure the WLC to use a radius server to authenticate WLAN users, secure a WLAN with WPA2 enterprise, and then connect hosts to the new WLC. We'll do that as always. Let's go step by step according to the instructions. So part 1, which is nothing but create a new WLAN. So create a new VLAN interface, which is step 1. So the first things first, let us try to access the management console of your WLC. So go to the admin PC. Okay. So on the admin PC, let me click on the web browser. So from the web browser, let me connect to the WLC's interface. So how do I know what is the interface that I need to use, or what is the IP address that I need to use to connect to the WLC? It is given in your addressing table. You can see here on the addressing table, it's written over here. So HTTPS, because it's clearly mentioned to use HTTPS, right? So 192.168.200.254, enter. There you go. Now you are getting something like a login page for the WLAN controller, wireless LAN controller. Let me click on login. And what is the admin and password? You can see here, you have to type in username is admin, ADMIN, and then it is Cisco123 as the password. Type in login. You should see the management console here now. Yes, this is all the things that you can see. Let me just minimize this a little bit so that we can be clear what's happening on this page. Yes. Now click the controller menu and then click interfaces from the menu on the left. So here is your controller menu. Let me click on controller. And once it opens, we should be able to click on the interfaces. Yes. You will see the default virtual interface and the management interface. Yes, you can see there is one virtual interface here. There is another one is management interface here. Now we want to create a new one. So for that case, what we need to do is click the new button in the upper right-hand corner. You might not see it straight away here. You need to scroll towards your right-hand side a little bit. So once you scroll this, you can see a new button over here. In further cases also, if you are unable to see the new button or the apply button, just scroll towards your left or right so that you can see the entire window. Okay, let me click on new. So you may need to scroll the page. Enter the name of the new interface. We have to call it as WLAN 5. Make sure you type in without making any mistakes. And you have to type exactly what is given in your instruction. And then the VLAN ID is to be configured as 5. And after this, what you need to do is we need to click on apply. So once we click on apply, it should show you the configuration interface for the new interface that you just created. So now this is what you can see here. Enter the name of the new interface. Yes. First, configure the interface to use physical port number 1. You can see here the port number is 0. So let me quickly change it to 1. And after that, it is asking me multiple VLAN interfaces can use the same physical port because the physical interfaces are like dedicated trunk ports. And then it is asking me to give the addresses here. So the IP address which I need to give is 192.168.5.254. And after that, the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. Please verify once again whether you are doing it correctly or not. If you are typing any mistakes here, it will have an impact on the overall activity. 192.168.5.1. And then we need to go into the primary DHCP server. 192.168.5.1. You can see that both the gateway and the DHCP server are the same. That means I'm actually assigning the router itself as a DHCP server. So DHCP pool has been configured. You can see it is saying that the VLAN interface, already a DHCP pool has been configured. with the same network address 192.168.5.0 network address. Okay. The address that we configure here for DHCP tells the WLC to forward all DHCP requests that it receives from the host on the WLAN to the DHCP server on the router. Now, whichever device is actually connecting to the wireless LAN controller, we are specifying to the wireless LAN controller to say that please forward these requests. Whichever request is coming for a DHCP address, please forward this request to this particular router 5.1, where we configured the pool of network addresses which belong to this network 192.168.5.0's network address. So then let me click on apply, scroll to the app. You can see apply. Okay, just click on OK for the warning. And once it is done, then you have to once again click on the save configuration. You can see at the top here, there is a save configuration here. Please click on save configuration. Once again, click OK for the warning message. That is done. So let me go on, move on to the step 2. Configure the WLC to use a Radius server. Because here we are trying to work with WPA2 Enterprise Edition, not the WPA2 Personal Edition. So WPA2 Enterprise Edition requires a Radius server to authenticate the users. So for that reason, we have to set it up first. So let me click on the security menu here. Click on the security menu, because we need to specify what is the Radius server's address here. Okay, on this security menu, you can see there is a new button over here. Please, you have to click on the new button. Then it will ask me to enter the IP address and other parameters. You can see here it is asking me for the server's IP address. Now, what is the server's IP address? Go to your addressing table again. You can see the Radius or SNMP server, the IP address that we are going to use is this. So which is 172.31.1.254. And we also need to specify a shared secret here, which should be mentioned. You can see we are actually using the Cisco 123. It's the same one that we used earlier, but it is not a good practice to repeat these passwords. So make sure when you're doing this way, or when you're doing it practically in the real world out there, we need to change these passwords. We should never reuse the same passwords again and again. So click on apply. So let me click on apply. That's done. Okay. Then create a new WLAN. So create a new WLAN. Use the newly created VLAN interface for the new WLAN. Okay. Click the WLANs entry in the menu bar. You can see there is this WLANs. Look at the drop down box in the upper right hand corner and it will say create new. Click go. We need to create a new one. So it's already selected as create new. Let me click on go. And after that, we need to enter the profile name for this. Okay. The profile name which is given to me is floor to employees. Okay. And the SSID we need to mention SSID. Once again, this has to be given exactly as like they are given in your instructions. You cannot change them. SSID 5. Okay. So after that, host will know you. Okay, fine. Then once you are done, the ID also has to be kept as 5. This is not mandatory, but it is a good practice. Okay. So let me click on apply. Let me click on apply. That's done. So now that the WLAN has been created, you can configure features of the network. Now for this, it's always a common thing to miss this step where we need to click on enabled. And then we have to specify the interface for which we are connected, for which we have created this. So it is WLAN 5. These are the 2 steps that are given here. These are the same steps we actually did in our earlier video also, where we configured a normal WLAN on your WLC controller. Okay. Done. And after that, here we go to the advanced menu. We go to the advanced menu and then we go to the Flex Connect 1. Flex Connect, and then we have to click on these 2 things. Flex Connect local switching is enabled. Flex Connect local authentication is also enabled. Then we need to go into and click on apply. Then we need to go and click on apply here. So this is done. So we created a new WLAN. We modified those settings. Now for us, now we have to create, or we need to configure security for the WLAN that we just created. So for that, let me go into the security menu here. So which is step 4, configure WLAN security. Go to security and under layer 2 security. These are the same steps. I'm not going to change any steps here. They're just like the ones that we did in our earlier video, WPA plus WPA2, and click on WPA2 policy. And please verify that it is the AES is set it up here. AES is checked here because it is the default one. Okay. And we need to click here as 802.1x. Earlier we clicked on PSK. Okay. But here I'm going to click on 802.1x as the authentication key management scheme, because we are going to work with a Radius server. And in the next step, what we need to do is we need to go for the AAA servers, and the one which you already created earlier, we should find it over in the server one drop down menu. You can see it's already there. So just like click on that. Okay. So when that is done and we have selected as yes, that's all done. So the next step that we need to do is we need to click on apply. Okay, on your warning message. So we created the WLAN, we configured its security. Both are done. The next step that we need to do is part 2. Configure DHCP scope and SNMP. Yes. So for that, what we need to do is should be connected to the WLC GUI. Yes, we are already done. Click the controller menu and then click interfaces. Click on the controller menu, which is over here. Once you click on it, you should get a list of all those things. Then click on interfaces. What interfaces are present? You can see that there are WLAN 5 management and virtual interfaces, right? Click the management interface. Okay, let me click on the management interface. Record its addressing information here. So let me scroll down. This is the information where the IP address is 192.168.200.254. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. The gateway is 192.168.200.1. There is no DHCP server specified here. It says 0.0.0.0. Okay. So we want the WLC to use its own DHCP server to provide addressing to devices on the wireless management network such as lightweight APs. Okay. So for this reason, it is asked me to enter the IP address of the WLC management interface as the primary DHCP server address. So what is this WLC management interface? Please go back to your addressing table. You can see the management interface is this. So now 192.168.200.254. This is the one we should give here. So after setting up for your primary DHCP server, then you simply need to go back or go scroll to the top and then click on apply. Just click OK on the warning message that you get. Okay, let me click on apply here. This is all done. Now, you know, the next thing we go to is in the left-hand menu, expand the internal DHCP server. Yes. And click on DHCP scope. Okay. Now we have to create a DHCP scope. So it's asked me to click the new button. If needed, you just scroll towards your right-hand side. So click on new button. Click on the new button. And please give the scope name. So my scope name is specified as wired management. Make sure there are no spelling mistakes. Wired management. Okay. And then click apply. So you created a new scope. Now we need to configure this scope. So let me click on wired management here. Now we need to click on wired management that we just created to configure it. So it is asking me, give all these addresses. The pool start address is 192.168.200.240 to 192.168.200.249. And we have to provide these values, the ones which we recorded earlier. So the network is 192.168.200.0. This is the network address, and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. And the default router is the same one, 192.168.200.1. Okay, so I have given it, and then it asks me to click the apply. So click apply to activate the configuration, and then click on save configuration that we need to do. Okay, let me click on OK. And after that, you get all these things. Now we want to successfully save all configuration. Just click OK. Now let us move on to step 2. configure SNMP. Okay. So in SNMP, click the management menu on the WLC GUI and expand the entry. Okay. So where is the management tab here? Click on management tab. Click on management tab. Expand the SNMP on your left hand side. And then you need to click on trapped receivers. We need to set this up. Okay. So click on trapped receivers. And then click on new. So it should give you the details regarding to entering of new ones. So the community name is WLAN_SNMP. And the address is once again the earlier one that we used. It's the same for Radius server as well. 172.31.1.254. And click apply. Click apply. So this is done. So you set it up as an MP also. Now, the next one that we need to do is part 3, connect host to the network. Okay, let me just minimize this. So we have only one wireless host in this particular menu. Let me click on wireless host and then open the PC wireless app here. Okay. So go to the profiles tab. Yes, go to the profiles tab here and then click new to add a new profile. Okay, let me click on new. And WLC net is a new profile name. Okay, I gave the WLC net as the new profile name. And after that, highlight the wireless network name for the WLAN that we created earlier and click advanced setup. This is the one which you just created, SSID 5. So let me click on it and then I need to click on the advanced setup one. So, okay, verify that the SSID for the wireless LAN is present. Yes, it is there. SSID 5 is already come up. So, and then click next. Okay. You should see the SSID 5. I already saw that. And also it is asking me to make sure that the network settings are in DHCP. Verify that the DHCP network settings is selected. Yes, it is selected. So click next. Okay. And in the security drop-down box, select WPA2 enterprise and then click next. So I need to type in WPA2 enterprise and then click next. Now it is asking me to enter the login name. So the login name is user1 and the password name is user1 pass and then click next. Okay. So once I click next, you have to just verify these things and then click save. Okay. So then after that, WLC profile and click connect to network button. You should click on this. Now give it a couple of seconds for the connection to take place. You can see here for the connection to take place. It takes a couple of seconds or so. And WLC, after a brief delay, you should see the wireless host connect to LAP1. Yes, you can see that the wireless host has connected to the local access or the lightweight access point. Okay. Yes, confirm that the wireless host has connected to the WLAN. You can see that it is now connected. The wireless host should receive an IP address from the DHCP server. For that, I can go back and I click on IP configure. You can see that the address that it got is 192.168.5.2, which is within the network range of 192.168.5.0. We discussed this earlier, if you remember correctly. I told you that the already a DHCP pool has already been set up to here. You can see the DHCP pool interface will be on. You can see this is the network. So the address that this received is from the same pool that we already set it up. So this is all right. So there are no issues, and also the completion was 100%. So hopefully you have did everything right. And okay, fine. I open a command prompt and confirm that the wireless host laptop has obtained an IP address. Other way of looking at is you can open the command prompt and then type in IP config and then enter. You can see here, you can also get the same address. There you go. The IP address is showing is 192.168.5.2. Okay, that is one way of doing it, and is also saying ping the default gateway or SW1. Let me do the SW1's address. You can see here. Let me type in ping to verify the connectivity. That's all. 192.168.200.100 and then enter. So hopefully this ping works. If this ping works, that means everything's fine, and your wireless host is now able to connect to all the other devices also. Okay, so request timed out. Yes, there you go. The ping is now working. You can see that the ping works now. So we have come to the end of our particular activity. There are a couple of questions towards the bottom, reflection questions. I would like you guys to answer them. The Radius server, what do you mean by uses a dual authentication mechanism? What are the two things that are authenticated? Generally, when you use the Radius server, it actually authenticates the WLC as well as the hosts as well. It has to make sure that the WLC is genuine or not. That is the reason you actually placed a shared key there. The next question, what are the advantages of WPA2 Enterprise or WPA2 PSK? There are lots of advantages for using WPA2 Enterprise when you are talking about a large network. WPA2 PSK does not give you full control over the users, their passwords. There is only one password, literally, and addition and deletion of users. When you want to change the password, everybody has to be notified. Coming to WPA2 Enterprise, because we have a separate server called as Radius server exclusively for this authentication stuff, every user can have their own password, and addition and deletion of users, if you want to remove them, or if you want to impose some type of control policies, it will become much more easier when you go for WPA2 Enterprise. But as I said, it would be really good if you guys try to answer these questions on your own. So hopefully you understood this particular activity. So thank you for watching. Good luck.